this attack? How do I counter this attack? You have to get used to their patterns. I think that's great. One thing that they do fall, victim to, which is in some cases mini bosses throughout a variety of games, is that they try to add on the difficulty by adding in other mini bosses or other enemies along.
Folks, you're not going to believe this, but as always,
that's necessary if you're trying to strong enough boss. But I think they do that sometimes throughout the game. There's a lot more that can be done to refine, some of the bosses, the patterns, what they do, how you defeat them, because there is a certain familiarity with all the bosses, which is, punch, 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 dodge. Where I think they could change that pattern up a bit, where maybe you use the environment to stop the boss, or maybe use their own weapons against them to stop them, or something similar to that point. There is a boss like that where you can do that. I'm not going to spoil it, but change that pattern up a bit, where maybe you use the environment to stop the boss, or maybe use their own weapons against them to stop them, or something similar to that point. There is a boss like that where you can do that. I'm not going to spoil it, but I think it's good. It's good what they've done too. I will give them credit for that. It is good. This now leads us to the next good, and that is the stealth. There are people, having said that, there are people who don't like the stealth in Spider-Man, and in Spider-Man 2. And the reason why is because of the gadget where now you can shoot extra web lines. I love that.
I love it too.
I think that's the best thing ever. I think that's great. I agree with that,
but it is overpowered as fuck. It is overpowered as fuck, and it makes the stealth too easy. A problem I have here is that the stealth, this game wasn't great, and it didn't really do much to fix it here. Although especially for like the hunters, when you find like the main bases and shit, those are the best levels to do stealth in, because their design there is but here could be much better.
Changes as far as the stealth to the benefit of the player. That's what I'm like. This is all about me. It's about the player. And I think for people who think it breaks stealth, here's my option for you.
Don't use it.
Don't use them. That's correct. It's that simple. If you don't like that you can shoot web lines anywhere, okay,
around the city. I repeat,
you're not forced to use it. There's nothing in the game that forces you to use the stealth web lines to take out the game. There's nothing there. It's your gameplay. And that's, once again, kudos to Insomniac for allowing the player to customize their experience. If you want to use 6 and 5 web lines and take out everyone there stealthily, you can do that. If you don't want to use that, you don't have to. You can use whatever, perches that they have, the beams and stuff that they have in the level as is. You don't have to add any more web lines if you don't want. You can make that challenge up to you. That is the beauty. The challenge is up to you. If you want to challenge yourself, just as I did by not using gadgets or whatnot, or if you want to challenge yourself by not using the web lines and taking enemies down, then you can do that. There's nothing that's forcing you to do that. So I think people who are criticizing that, I think it's an invalid criticism, okay? Because no one forcing you to do that. I understand if there was missions where I have to use it, where the game was like, hey, we're not going to progress any further until you shoot a web line here, 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 here. But that's not how the game does. The game is like, hey, this is available to you. If you want to use it, cool. If you don't want to use it, that's cool too. In addition to that, the AI, one thing that I noticed when I was playing is that the AI will actually look up. They're like, hey, they'll search up where the enemy attack was. And I think that's great. I think that's awesome, because it adds that extra level of difficulty where you just can't be doing some wild stuff and not have people be like, okay, Spider-Man is here. He's not where I see him, so he has to be above us. I think that's great. Good job, because it was awesome. This now leads us to web swinging. And I know I have been, I would say, the main proponent of the criticism regarding web swinging and regarding the game entirely. But I think my criticism has been fair and balanced, and I've always given ways as far as how to solve
the criticisms I have. I've always added solutions to the criticisms I have. I think that's very important. I think that separates, some of my criticisms versus people who just want to take a dump on the game. Every time I criticize, I aim to improve it, and I give certain solutions as to how I would go about that. Whether people agree, that's a different story. But when it comes to web swinging, I will say this is the best web swinging we have to date.
Oh, all right then.
And I made sure, I double checked, because when I say stuff like that, I always want to just double check to reassure myself. So I went and played Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, and then was playing Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, just to double check what was good, what was bad, what felt better. And I have to say, this web swinging is top notch. It's top notch. And one of the reasons that it's top notch is that, once again, it allows you to customize. I think that is just awesome, because I went into the steer assist, which is what it does, steer assist. But in addition to that, that I didn't notice when I'd gotten, my copy of the game, the early copy, because there were so many leaks coming out, and I was trying to rush the story, because I wasn't doing side missions. I was just trying to rush the story, because I didn't want the leaks to come out and spoil everything for me. And then I stopped. I was like, you know what? I don't want to play like that. So I waited, till the game was launched, got my copy, and I was like, okay, let me actually enjoy this game instead of trying to rush it out and get a review when, the embargo lifts. So I go into the options. There's a lot of options. One of the options I didn't understand was the web vending. Now, at first I thought the web vending was for the web line, because it's under web swinging option. But that's not what it's for. It's actually for the stealth mechanic of shooting the web lines, where it bends versus where it's being straight. I don't know if that impacts the gameplay, to what extent. I don't know. I've tried it out. I didn't notice any difference. But nevertheless, when it comes to swinging assist, I think probably the best option is going to be number one. Because I tried 0. I played the first time with 0, and we obviously know what 10 is. And I tried the gradations in between. And one of the things, if you look at Spider-Man 2, in Spider-Man 2, if you swing, not Spider-Man 2 for the PS5, but Spider-Man 2 for the PS2, if you swing, right, obviously it goes towards the building, because that's how the physics are. But it's a little more, malleable as far as how far you go over to the right or how far you go over to the left. And then you couple that with the boost that gives you a false sense of momentum. Now, after playing that and then going back to Spider-Man 2 on the PS5, I will say Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 is more realistic than Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. Now, whether or not you find that more fun or less fun, that's up to you. But I went into Spider-Man 2 for the PS5, and there is no boost mechanic. The only way you get speed is through momentum, right? And you either get momentum either through diving or through natural progression of your web swing, of releasing it at the right time and combining that with your web wings. So I will say that Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 is absolutely a phenomenal experience.
I thought he was going to be straight hitting me. I'm sorry.
Mysteriously disappearing. But now believe we can shed some light on the culprits. These vile creatures appear to be abducting us. For what nefarious purpose? We don't know yet. Now, more than ever, we need to look out for each other. Don't go out alone, unless it's an emergency. You could be next. I fear the worst is yet to come.
Symbiote nest. Better check it out. Where's the heart of the nest? Need to move that car. Sonic burst's ready. I'm sort of. Need to move that car. Can't let up. Gotta save these people. Yes.
Oh, thanks, Spider-Man.
Take care of yourselves, okay? Dr. Connors? Hello?
He's here in my lab.
Gotta call Miles and get over there quick. Miles, meet me at Connor's lab. I think Harry's there, and it doesn't sound good.
On my way.
Should be a shortcut to Connor's lab near Central Park. I've gotta find a way to get through to Harry. He's in there. I know I can reach him. Just hope he doesn't hurt Connors. Hunters on the roof. Are they prepping an ambush? Cloaking tech kind of let you down today, yeah, fellas? Lockdown range! We wanted one of these! Nice, nice, nice! That reminds me, I should update my suit software.